Spirit 105.3. Hi.
Hi, Erica. This is Kelsey Hall with Cattle and Cut Flowers.
I am so super excited to meet you and talk with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Well, I'm thrilled to talk with you because I am a lifelong flower lover, but especially since I moved to the PNW 6 years ago, I have such an appreciation for flowers. So what is it like running a flower farm?
It's a lot of work. I mean, a lot of people see, like the pictures on social media, and there's all these like amazing books written by flower farmers with just all these beautiful photos, and it looks very glamorous and beautiful, which there is a side of it, but that's like the 2% of the time. It's a lot of hard work to keep up on crops and just selling all of your product and building a business around flowers. There's a lot of work that goes into having that all happen. But a lot of people, see the pictures and they're like, oh, I want to do that. And then they get into it and they realize, oh, this is a lot harder than I realized.
Yeah.
But it is really rewarding at the same time, which I think is why so many people are interested in it and have fallen in love with growing flowers.
Now, did you grow up loving flowers as a little girl?
No, not at all.
That's funny.
Yeah, there was people in our family that like casually kind of grew flowers, and a great grandma of mine really liked roses, and my mom still grows roses, but it wasn't like this big love of mine. I'm actually really an animal person, and I went to school to be a vet technician.
Wow.
And my husband and I started our farm to be more of like a farm that raises livestock. So we actually raise Highland cattle, and we have pigs and horses and goats and ducks and chickens. And so we have a lot of other beans on our farm other than flowers. And then the flowers was kind of an afterthought. When we got into farming, we realized how expensive one it is to have a farm and run it and feed everybody. And so I was a stay-at-home mom while we were doing all of this, and I kind of wanted to just find ways that I could help. And so I started selling our extra chicken eggs, and I thought, well, I could just start growing bouquets, and those could be add-ons for like when people pick up eggs, and then that could help, pay for some of the feed and like that sort of thing. So that's how it started. And then I'm kind of an all or nothing type of person. And so we went from basically demolishing my veggie garden and making it all flowers into we grow about an acre of cut flowers now on the farm.
Are you fascinated by them at this point, or are you still kind of getting used to them?
No, fascinated for sure. So in 2018, I was gifted some dahlia tubers, and this is really where like the big start of like the flower farming was. And I grew these 30 dahlia tubers. I had no idea what I was doing. They bloomed and they grew, and I just was completely bit by the dahlia bug. So we went from growing 30 to the last couple of years, we've grown over 4,000. So it's really evolved, and I just, like I kind of said, like I'm kind of an all or nothing person. And so, yeah, I am fully invested, and I grow other crops of flowers, but dahlias have always been our main focus here at the farm.
I mean, they're like dessert plate sized. So beautiful. And I can't get enough of them. When I moved here, I was like, wow, I thought tulips were my favorite, but they've got competition. So, Kelsey, you were walking through your bridal tunnel dahlias, and you noticed something. What was that?
So I noticed a flower that looked like a daffodil, and I was quite confused about this flower because dahlias do not grow in that shape or form, and it was on a variety that should have been a ball-shaped dahlia. And so I honestly didn't really believe it, and I kind of walked out of the tunnel, and then I went back in, and I was just looking at it, and I kind of took a couple of days, honestly, before I even told anybody about it. Because my first initial thought was that it was not a good thing. Just like humans, plants can have a lot of the different diseases and viruses and all this stuff. And so that was kind of where I first took it. I was like, oh no, my plants that are in the high tunnel are going to be ruined. My soil is going to be ruined. Like this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of just like this. At first, I was like kind of in shock, and then I was unsure of it. And then as I kind of started looking into things and kind of settled and started sharing with some of my dahlia friend growers what was going on, my worry about it started to kind of go away once I started researching more. And now we believe that it's a sport, or what you would call a mutation off of the variety. And it's just creating this new form of dahlia that people are just losing their minds about.
Oh, I'm one of those people. One of your Instagram followers called it a daffodahlia, which I love. How do you feel about that name?
I like it. I think it's really fitting. I think the only thing that I don't like about it is I think it's giving some people confusion that I crossed a daffodil and a dahlia and created a new species. So that's the only thing that I think is kind of a hiccup with it, is it's kind of confusing some people. Like, people keep asking me, oh, did you have daffodils in with your dahlias? So I think there's a little bit of confusion, but I think for the most part, people get that it's just the form that we're going for, the shape of the flower. But I do like the name.
So when you realized that this was a thing and potentially like a brand new flower in the world, what did that do to you? I mean, you had to be as excited as a kid on Christmas morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's like life-changing for our farm. Like, if we can get this to grow out, I mean, we could literally just kind of do this now. I don't have to work quite so hard at all these little things, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I do a lot of different things. I do like photography and I do wedding floral, and we're constantly just like going 100 miles an hour. And I've really wanted to actually move into doing more of just bulb and like tuber sales and be like a seed and tuber farm.
Yeah.
And with starting a small business, you got to make your money where you make your money. So I do all these little things, and this could be the opportunity and the push that we needed to go in that direction. So it's really like a huge blessing for our family.
Oh, it's a gift. I'm so happy for you. And I heard that even Martha Stewart loves this flower. How did that make you feel?
Well, Martha's team reached out to me, and I was like shocked. I'm like, Martha Stewart knows about our flower? Like, we're just a small farm in Enumclaw, and Martha Stewart knows about us. Like, this is wild. She liked one of my photos last night, and I was just like, this is crazy. Like, that Martha Stewart is liking my stuff. But once she shared it, I had shared it, and it had already been really having a lot of steam and a lot of views in the growing community, and there was a lot of buzz about it. And then when Martha Stewart's account shared it and her team put the story out about it, it really took off. And now it's like I have all these different news outlets all over the nation. I have magazines that publish in the United States and the UK writing articles. It's crazy.
I am so excited. Now, you use the word blessing. So do you see this as something God did for you and your farm?
Yeah, I do. I feel like, I kind of was mentioning, I really wanted to move into being a bulb and tuber and dahlia farm. And this is going to kind of allow us to do that when we haven't been able to. So I definitely think of this as a huge blessing for our family.
Well, listen, I hope you'll keep us posted on what happens if this gorgeous flower gets an actual official name, and especially if Martha Stewart comes to Cattle and Cut Flower Farm. You got to let us know.
Oh, yeah, we definitely will.
Kelsey, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to talk with us. I'm just cheering you on.
Thank you so much. It was great to chat with you about it.